All right, season 6, episode 23 of a kind, the Lone Gunman sequel episode. We've been waiting for this one.
Oh, yes.
I think that was last season, or maybe even 2 seasons ago, where we did the first part to this.
Yeah.
This is a long break between these two episodes, even though they do take place years between each other. So it's totally fine, but it's cool to get, like, I don't know, conclusion
Yeah.
to that episode. It is kind of left on a cliffhanger where X steals away that girl, and you're like, whatever happens to her? Will we ever see her again? There's so many episodes of this show where things are teased for the future, like that one episode where the kid's like, I'll see you again in 8 years, and you're like, will he?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of that stuff where, some villain or something is still alive and is out there, and you're like, are we ever going back? And
Yeah.
sometimes you do. Sometimes, like, Pusher comes back or Toombs comes back. You have these episodes where you get them and you're like, oh, I didn't think we'd ever cover this again.
Yeah, and then it just happens.
And this is one of those where you're like, oh, we are gonna actually see what ended up happening to her and what the Lone Gunmen are up to. This is a completely Mulderless episode. Yeah, she only talks to him on the phone, but we never even hear his voice. So he is completely absent from this episode. But we do get a good amount of Scully. And this is just such a fun episode.
Yes, this is.
This actually made me get online and look into buying the Lone Gunman television series because I would love a show from them, and we have one. 13 episodes. I think I saw the original pilot when it came out, and then it was canceled very shortly after, which is such a shame. I really wish that we could have had a few seasons of that show. I don't know, though. Maybe we'll go and watch it and be like, the reason it was canceled because it's just not a good show. But I like the idea of them having a show because I just find them, I love their chemistry.
I do too.
I love the characters. I love the way Byers and Frohickey and Langley play off of each other.
Yeah.
I think they're very iconic. I
do
love
too.
when they pop up in the show. I always welcome them in any episode they're ever in. I always love seeing them.
Yeah.
And having them have no Mulder and just calling Scully in is really funny to me. It flips their
very
dynamic
funny.
completely because
Yeah.
Scully does not believe in any of the shit that they're talking about. Mulder at least humors them. He makes fun of them a lot.
He sure does.
Right?
Yeah.
It's weird. Their dynamic is odd because Mulder has, like, this opinion of himself that, like, his beliefs are, like, top of the mountain, and that he's, like, a big deal in that field,
Yeah.
and these guys are kind of like nerds beneath him.
Yeah, but they're the same ultimately.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, I think this is fun to get the Scully with them because we've had a few moments in past episodes where Scully contacts them and asks them for their help or whatever, and they're always like very willing to help her, which is really
Absolutely.
sweet. And but this one it's funny because
Why couldn't they just say that then?
But they-
you
yeah,
know,
I
like,
know.
we helped you with the triangle. Like, we went into the Bermuda Triangle for you. We
Yeah.
need you to come to Vegas.
well, technically
for us.
she helped them
with the
triangle because they called her and they were like,
But
we
it
need
was
help,
because
like
of
Mulder's.
Mulder.
Yeah, so she would totally do anything for that. But because Mulder's not involved, they would still have had to lie to her anyway, I think, to get her to
They
fly
saved
out
her.
there.
They helped Mulder save her freaking life when they were researching what ended up being like ionized water
Yes,
and all
yeah,
that stuff.
yeah,
so.
definitely. They've been. I'm not saying that she shouldn't. I'm just saying that I think unless they had been like Mulder's here and he needs your help,
Yeah,
she would
know
have
it.
come. But if they were just like, we need you to come, she'd been like, I'm not coming. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I have a job, I have other stuff. But because they use a voice changer and make it sound like Mulder is calling her, so funny.
They know her. They know her
They know.
weaknesses.
Yeah, and she shows up and Mulder is not there. And we get a really funny version of Scully. So because this is about that, like, chemical or whatever that Mulder got injected
Yeah.
with, and it like lowers people's inhibitions and makes them susceptible to mind control, essentially. She gets injected with it.
thought Mulder in the last episode that dealt with this, that was a hallucinogen, and he was freaking out and screaming about
maybe
his
it was
sister.
a little different because that one that he gets injected with is supposed to make you like extremely paranoid.
Yes. That's more like
this one,
that reminded me more of like the television episode where people were getting afraid of what was being pumped out.
So maybe they are different chemicals because this doesn't do that.
This is like a true serum.
A few people get injected with it. One guy throws himself into a bus.
Oh my god, brutal.
Which is really sad.
Jimmy.
Yeah. One of the nerds that shows up that has like a shirt that says like government Patsy with some, I don't know who's on it, but
I couldn't tell who was
he's
on
like
it,
trying to like talk to all these government agents and wearing that shirt to try and be like, I'm on to you, like I know, like see, I know.
And his buddy is the mole.
Yeah,
he's the one that's keeping an eye on everyone. And is up to no good.
But when Scully gets injected with it, she becomes like really ditzy and like flirtatious. She's just acting like she's drunk essentially, but like it is because she has no inhibitions. Like there's a scene when she's like sitting at the bar at the casino and just like freaking 30 guys are like around her like talking to her, and it's what's that like famous picture of like isn't there like some famous picture of a girl with like a cigarette and there's like all these like male hands with like lighters like trying to light the cigarette for her, because that's literally what happens here. Like she takes out a cigarette even though she doesn't smoke and like everybody tries to light the cigarette. This
is Scully. This is what we talked about in Milagro, is like Scully just wants to be noticed, and because she has this hard edge to her, she scares a lot of men off because she's intimidating with the fact that she's like a very powerful and
very
independent woman.
Yeah.
Right? Like she's not a codependent person. She's very independent, sorry. Yeah. And so when her inhibitions are lowered, she really lets out what she truly wants. Yeah. Which she wants to be noticed. And, she's fucking gorgeous. So like when she lets go of that,
the like air
veneer.
Yeah, and then people are like, they want to like talk to her.
Oh man, she's open now.
The guy from the episode.
And who comes in for her rescue?
Frohickey,
who could have taken advantage of her, but like, oh hell no,
he's
like,
he
back
knows.
up.
He's like, this is not right. But the guy from the episode with the body swap with Mulder, is
he's
here.
There, yeah.
And she flirts with him. She like spanks his butt as she's walking away, and that's very funny and cool to see them like interact, because he was trying to get with Scully the whole time during that episode as Mulder.
This is DEF CON, so he would be there. He's a defense contractor, so it makes perfect sense that he does a little cameo here.
Yeah, really cute. And Frohickey, he rescues her, which is really sweet, and they take her back, and she gets injected with the counter, whatever, and she's cured. But unfortunately, what's his name? The blonde guy, I always forget, Langley, is under this influence as well.
But they catch it.
They do.
Very early, and so they stage her death.
Yeah.
Langley also shows that he does not have the stomach for an autopsy. Yeah. He tries to, muster up the courage to watch it, but he can't do it. So Byers has this like dream of him and Suzanne Mudeski having kids and living together, and she gives him the option in the end to do it, and he picks his boys. I mean, he very much has like it's not romantic, but they have a relationship with one another. They all live together.
Yes, they do.
And he ultimately picks them over her.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of shocking, honestly, but I think that part of it is that, like, he is just like Mulder. Like, it's the search for the truth as well. And I think that he knows that they're the ones that he has to be with to find out that truth. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they have a very tight platonic relationship between the three of them. Like, there is not any romance or anything, but they're definitely, like, really connected, so.
Morris Fletcher.
Yeah, Morris Fletcher
is the name of the guy.
Yeah.
they keep saying throughout the episode, like, especially I think it's Frohiggy's, like, when he's telling Scully about everything, and he's like, she's gonna kick our ass.
Yeah.
And then the episode ends with her being like, I'm
Like,
gonna kick their
Yeah,
ass.
because she like
But we
finds
don't
out
get to
Mulder
see
is
it.
over there.
We don't get to see her interaction with them after she finds out Mulder's not there.
I think it's really funny to think about Mulder and Scully, like she had a wild weekend in Vegas with the lone gunman.
She almost died.
I know, it was a wild weekend,
Yeah.
and Mulder wasn't there, and just like,
Do you have any idea what Mulder would have done
oh my god,
if they got her killed?
oh my god,
Like lied to her to accuse his
And then she
voice, and then she dies?
bro.
Oh my god. You want to talk about kick their ass?
Yeah.
He would have probably executed all three of them. So, super
Good
fun
thing she
episode.
didn't die.
Seeing Scully drugged and like some bimbo
was very fun.
Was very fun.
Yeah.
So, and the Morris Fletcher little cameo here, and seeing the return of Suzanne Modeski, seeing the conclusion to Byers' storyline with her, and the three guys, the lone gunman. All of that stuff is always super fun. So, three of a kind. I hope we get another lone gunman episode in the future. But other than that, I mean, I definitely want to buy and watch the Lone Gunman television series, and that is also going to lead us into in a few episodes here, season 7, episode 4, which is only like 6 episodes ahead of where we're at now. That leads into another show spin-off that got 3 seasons called Millennium, which we'll talk about when we get to that episode. It's a big episode.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's that. We'll see you in the next one. Adios.
Bye.